congratulations on the championship. I guess Abby and Emma, this is the third straight. I'm happy you've been here for all of them. Emma, you've been here for two of them. Winning is not easy, and especially winning a championship. Just what went well for you guys last week?
Obviously, I think it helps having two solid players, but we're also a pretty deep team. I think that's the key to winning, especially in our conference. We saw a lot of girls be able to go low, but since we had 5 solid girls, I think that has been the key the past couple of years especially.
Yeah, I think we all were able to contribute, and we've been preparing for this pretty well. And I've been practicing hard day in and day out, so I think it all just came together for us, and we were able to put together some solid rounds as a team.
And then Abby, senior year, you win your medalist at the Big East Championship. Very similar to Morgan Tinsley last year, wins her first tournament at the Big East Championship. You saved your best for last as well. What went well for you?
I think kind of like Emma was saying, our preparation the past couple months has just been super key for us to peak at the right time. You don't really see it over the course of the past couple months, but like Emma was saying, day in, day out, we're practicing for not only the next tournament, but this final stage that we're at. So I think everything that we did as soon as we start here in August, that's what pays off at the end.
And then Emma, the reigning player of the year, freshman of the year, you ranked first going into the tournament in the golf stat rankings. Probably could have had a little bit of pressure, and you managed to also be a medalist. Failed to mention in the previous question that the three-way tie for first with another player from Creighton just went well for you as well to win your second tournament of the season.
Yeah, I had been working pretty hard leading up to the event, and I think last year I felt a little bit more pressure and things like that, but this year I really just try to have fun with it and take it one shot at a time, stick to our game plan, and I really hit the ball well. I hit a lot of greens, and the greens were small, so hitting the greens out there was key, and it gave you a good look at birdie, and I was just able to roll in a few, so everything really came together last week. And
then Abby, the NCAA tournament, you're familiar with it, the 19, you weren't on the roster that made it. Last time we made it, you played around and missed with an injury. Your last go around at the NCAA tournament, you have like a little bit of a chip on your shoulder to maybe prove that you're one of the best golfers in the regional, coming off a medalist performance.
I think biggest key, since I have missed the past couple years, is just going to be enjoy it from start to finish. I think that the golf will speak for itself once we're there, but definitely just going to go in with a smile, hopefully no injury, and I think the golf will come with it as well.
And then Emma, last year as a freshman down in Louisville, one stroke away from advancing to the national championship. Would have been only the second player to do that in school history. Just what are your thoughts heading into that to try to maybe take the next step and be one of those top couple golfers that get to qualify as an individual if you don't make it as a team?
Yeah. So I'm going to take that experience from last year. I mean, it was a really great experience to play against the best. I mean, regionals has a lot of good players in it, and we're just going to hopefully carry that over to this year. We've played in fields with top teams throughout the entire season, so we have that experience, and hopefully we can get it done as a team, and if not, then, I mean, you're just going to try and perform our best and see where we end up at the end of the day.
Last question for the two of you. We've, like I said, made it to the NCAA championship twice. What's the final hurdle for our program to advance out of regionals? It's really hard, a lot of good teams. Just what needs to go right for you guys in Ann Arbor?
Go ahead. One thing I would say, a hurdle for us is going to be experience-wise. We're a young team. Half the team this is its first year. But I think that because of how far we've come in just this 1 year, especially with having a couple freshmen, couple sophomores, we know how good we are. We know how good we can be in the next couple years, and we're going to use that as fuel now to perform now, to see where we can get right now.
And then Bree, 3 in a row. It's really hard to win, a tournament and to win a championship. Just what went right for you guys down at the tournament, the Big East Championship?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just played our game. That was kind of our game plan going into it. We knew we had a solid year. We knew we had solid players, and that could get the job done. And luckily, we were able to stick to our game and play solid golf, and that was what carried us to a victory. And like these two said, having 2 players at the top and Kara in top 10, that makes it tough to beat when you've got 2 that are winning the tournament and another right up there with her. So having that depth and having a lot of players that can get the job done was huge for us.
And just following up on that, the 2 individuals that are sitting up there with you, can maybe talk about Abby? Again, we already mentioned that this is the second year in a row we've had a medalist that was a senior, and it was their first medalist opportunity. And it came at the Big East Championship when you needed it. And then someone like Emma, who's just been nothing but consistent, one of our best golfers ever since she's been on campus.
Yeah, having Kiefer be able to win as a senior is a lot of fun, and her game has always been capable of that, especially when she gets hot and she stays focused on what she needs to be doing. So it's not surprising. I felt the same way about Morgan. If she could stay mentally where she needed to be, she could show, with her game that was something she was capable of doing. And same with Abby. And if we can get that same play out of her at regionals, look out. And then, having Emma has been huge. Obviously, we lost our best player in program history with Fitz leaving last year, and Emma has stepped right in and filled those shoes and potentially even taken the program to new heights with what she's done, kind of being that new best player in program history. So it's been fun to be able to see players come in, set those records, and then new ones come in and top it even more. I mean, that's what it takes to keep a program advancing. So been very fortunate to be able to bring players in like that.
We just wrapped up the selection show. You know where you're going now. What, coaching-wise, what do you, between now and May 9th and you go up to Ann Arbor, what are some, things you need to tweak from our rounds of golf at the Big East between now and then?
I think, like these 2 said, all of that started in August. I tried to tweak some things about our schedule, and especially this spring, to see if we can't be peaking, the start of our peak with conference, but then really be at the top of our game come regionals. So we'll see if some of those schedule changes. We're trying to keep things a little more normal these 2 weeks than what we have in the past. It's a tough 2 weeks with the final week of classes and then finals week. So I'm kind of putting a lot on them to see if we can't maintain a more normal golf schedule while they're in the middle of all of that. So it's going to be a challenge for them not only to continue to have the golf in front of them, but throw such tough academic 2 weeks at them at the same time. But I'm hoping it'll pay off, and we'll see some great golf in Ann Arbor.
And then last question, since you've been on campus, you've taken the program, to new heights. You've won conference championships that hadn't done before. You advanced to NCAA regionals. You've sent individual to the championship. I'm sure on your bucket list of things you want to do as the head coach is get a team to out of regionals. Just what needs to go well for you guys up in Ann Arbor?
We got to have, everyone play well. I think some of those coaches said on the selection show, the Michigan coach talked about a lot having depth on their team. Being able to have people from any of those 5 spots have great rounds and being able to count rounds from all 5 spots is going to be huge. And then you got to have a couple players that are competing, the way Emma did last year at Louisville. If we can do that, I think, look out. We can be right in the mix just like anyone else. But those are the things that we're looking to try to do. When I first started, I kept saying, I want to get 5 players in lineup that, even on your worst day, shoot below 80, and that was kind of step 1, and we're getting much closer to being there. But then the next step is, can we get 2 girls competing for an individual title or a top 10 at a regional caliber field, and then great scoring from any of those next 3 too. I mean, those are kind of the pieces of the puzzle that I see us needing to kind of take that next step.